Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dawson with Prime Defender. I want to hop on here and have a quick discussion. Justin Shoots on Instagram, which if you don't know who that is, he is a USPSA Grandmaster and a phenomenal instructor. If you don't already follow him, I would suggest doing so. Posed a question on should we dumb as instructors and coaches our content down for our students, right? First of all, I don't think we should ever dumb what we are or the context of what we're teaching down for our students. I think people that dumb it down is probably because they don't know the process themselves, right? But his view is we should be able to take something that is complex as a whole and break it down into what is the simplest form and palatable for our students. And I agree with that 100%. Now, I have had the opportunity to be around multiple world champions in their respective disciplines and some of the top people in their field and industry of work, like the tip of the spear people. And every one of these people have something in common. They have that ability to make something that most people would think, oh man, this is complex, right? And they break it down into its most simple yet efficient form, okay? Now, I got posed another question from Raz Group on Instagram, which again, I would suggest checking him out as well, a lot of good content, and that's how far do we then break down the fundamentals? And that's a good question because if we break them down too far, then that pendulum ends up swinging the opposite way and we take something that could be simple and we make it overcomplicated. Okay, so our job again as instructors and coaches is to find the simplest form that is also the most efficient. So let me explain a little bit about this, okay? You could take something, whatever the process is you're trying to teach in shooting, and you can overcomplicate it, by going too minute with all of the fundamentals that you're trying to teach, right? You could be talking about vision and then all of a sudden you have an 8-hour discussion on this optical nerve will do this to this and this muscle group and this happens when this and this happens with this and this happens when this. The problem is you're then taking your student's mind off of the process and the principles that you're trying to teach to give them that most efficient path. And now they're having to remember, well, wait, like what muscle group does what and this does this and this does this, right? So bringing it down to the most minute level, because technically that is, right? Talking about each tiny little detail like that is not always the simplest and most efficient path, right? You can really overcomplicate a process. Now, I want to make sure you guys know I'm not saying not to give minute details, but it's important what minute details to give to be able to help that student succeed in the most efficient way. I think that's something that's really important as coaches and instructors. So I wanted to hop on here and have that quick discussion. Let me know your thoughts, and I'd love to hear them.